Hello students. Yesterday we had discussed about the numericals that is related to the first, second and third equation of motion. Also we had discussed about the third equation of motion. Today we will start with the next topic, and that is the graphical representation of the motion. Okay? So now we will discuss the various type of a graph which can be used to calculate speed or velocity, acceleration, as well as the distance traveled by a body. Okay, so these graphs help us to calculate the speed or the velocity, acceleration, as well as the distance traveled by a body. So while discussing these things, a very important point which is to be remembered, that drawing of a graph, the terms speed and the velocity that we use, they are having the same meaning. Okay, at some places we use speed, at other places we can use the velocity. Okay, but these two things, when we are talking about the graphs here, then the both of them, whether the speed and that of the velocity, it is having the same sense. Okay, and we use it because in the examination also you see the two terms are used, like that of the speed and the velocity separately, but in graphs, if it is a velocity time graph or a speed time graph, it means both are the same. Okay, one more thing is there, that is while studying the distance time graph, or that of the speed time graph. In every graph, the time is always taken along the x-axis. Okay, this time should be taken at the x-axis. So this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So this should be the time. Okay, while the distance or the speed or the velocity, whatever we are taking, speed or the velocity, they are always taken along the y-axis. So these things you should remember, that if speed or the velocity, if I am talking, it means both are having the same sense, both are same. And while drawing that of the distance time graph or that of the speed or the velocity time graph, in both the cases, the x-axis, in the x-axis we put time, we always take time there, and in the y-axis, along the y-axis, we take the distance or speed or velocity there. Okay, so now we will start with the distance time graph. Okay, so this is the distance and this one is the time. Distance we had taken along the y-axis and time we have taken along the x-axis. So when we talk about the distance time, so you know that when a body moves with the uniform speed, if we are talking about the uniform speed, what does that mean? That the body will travel equal distance in equal interval of a time, or we can say that the distance traveled is directly proportional to the time. So equal distance is covered at equal interval of a time, it means they are directly proportional to that of the time. So when we talk about a uniform speed, the graph of the distance traveled against the time will be a straight line. This one. Okay? So you can see here a line is OA. It is a straight line which is indicating that this distance and time, it is actually showing that of the uniform speed or the uniform velocity in the graph. So we can say now that the distance time graph of a body which is moving at a uniform speed is actually a straight line. or we can say that the straight line graph between that of the distance to that of the time, it tells that the body is moving with a uniform speed. You see here, the distance and time help in evaluating that of the speed. Okay, so this slope of the graph is actually indicating the speed. So if a body is traveling in an equal distance in an equal interval of a time, then the speed, it will be uniform. And how we will come to know that speed will be a straight line. Okay, now see here, so the slope of a distance time graph, it indicates the speed of the body. So the distance time graph of a body, it can be used to calculate the speed of the body. This graph is helpful in calculating the speed of the body. How is it so? See here. So to find the speed from the distance time graph of the body, we take any point at A. We have taken here a point, that is A. Okay, on the straight line graph, and drop a perpendicular line to that of the OB, that is on the time axis. So it is clear that this AB, it represents the distance traveled by that of the body in a time interval which is represented by AB. Okay, so you see here, this is the distance traveled by the body AB and the time interval is OB. So we know that the formula, and that is speed is equals to distance upon time. So here you see the distance is actually AB and the time is OB. So we can represent it by speed is equals to AB upon OB. Okay. This AB upon OB is also known as that of the slope of the graph or the gradient of the graph line, that is OA. So you can see by this we can say this is the slope. This slope, value of the slope is AB upon OB. So this is helpful in calculating the speed, or we can say the distance time graph help in calculating that of the speed of the body. Okay. Now see here, the next one is the non-uniform speed. Okay, so we have seen here that if the speed of the body is uniform, then its distance time graph is a straight line. If however the speed of the body is a non-uniform, if it is a non-uniform, then the graph between that of the distance traveled by that of the time taken is a curved line. It is a curved line, and we called another term for this, and that is parabola. So it is not a straight line, but it will form a curved line, or it will form a parabola. Okay, so this is a non-uniform speed, or the non-uniform distance time graph to represent the non-uniform speed. So we can get a conclusion from above discussion. You can see here. Before that, one more thing is there. If suppose an object is there which is at rest, okay, before that we said in the first one that the distance time graph in case of a uniform motion, so a body when it is moving at a equal distance at equal interval of a time, it will represent the uniform speed, and which can be represented by a straight line. When an object is moving in unequal distance in an equal interval of a time, that is actually representing the non-uniform motion, and which can be represented by a curved path or a curved line or a parabola. So this is for the non-uniform motion. What happens if an object is at rest? when an object is at rest, the distance time graph for that object will be a straight path, or it will be constant. Okay, so here you can see there is no change in the distance and that of the time. So by this we can conclude the distance time graph, that if the distance time graph of a body is a straight line, okay, then we call that speed is uniform. If the distance time graph is a curved line, then we called the speed is a non-uniform. And if the distance time graph is a straight line, means which is parallel to that of the x-axis, at that time we call that the object is at rest position, or it is a constant. So that was a that was a distance time graph. If a displacement time graph is drawn, then what will happen? Then we will specifically representing that of the velocity. Since a distance travel is there, then that is helpful in calculating the speed. Okay, now we will discuss the speed time graph, and this speed time graph is also known as a velocity time graph. Okay, so velocity time graph is basically divided into three, and that are, the first one is when the speed of the body remains constant. Okay, when the speed of the body remain constant. The second one is when the speed of the body changes at a uniform rate. So it changes but at a uniform rate. And the third one is when the speed of the body it changes at or in a non-uniform rate. Okay, or non-uniform way. So these are the three type of speed time graph for moving a body. When a speed of the body remain constant, it means if it is remain constant, what does that mean? It means there is no acceleration, because we know that the velocity time graph or the speed time graph, the slope is actually helpful in calculating the acceleration. So if it is a constant, then we can say there is no acceleration. If it is changes at a uniform rate, then we can call it as a uniform acceleration. It means there is a uniform acceleration. Where when the speed of the body changes in a non-uniform rate, then there is a non-uniform acceleration. We will understand one by one. Now we will start with the velocity time graph at a uniform speed. Okay, or speed time graph when the speed remains constant. So by saying that the speed of the body is constant or uniform, we mean that the speed does not change. Here it is written velocity, doesn't matter. It means the velocity, it does not change with the time. And if the velocity does not change, it means there is no acceleration, because the definition of acceleration is the rate of change of velocity per unit time. Okay, so if there is no change in the velocity, it means there will be no acceleration. Okay, so a speed time graph for a body which is moving with a uniform speed or which is moving with a constant speed is a straight line, and this straight line is actually parallel to the x-axis or parallel to the time axis. Okay. So in other words, we can say that if the speed time graph of a body is a straight line which is parallel to that of the time axis, then the speed of the body is constant. So if the body is constant, then we can say there will be no acceleration, and hence there will be no question to calculate or to find acceleration. Since there is no change in the velocity, so there will be no acceleration, so there is no chance of calculating the acceleration. Okay. However, we can find the distance traveled by the body in a given time. Okay, so how can we calculate it? So we can calculate the distance traveled and this with the help of this speed time graph. So we know that speed is equals to what? Distance upon time taken. Or we here we are going to calculate that of the distance. So we can say distance is equals to speed into time taken. So now to find the distance traveled by the body at a point C. Suppose this is a point C. What we can do, we can draw a perpendicular. Okay, when we draw a perpendicular here, then this will be and name it as B. So this perpendicular is actually CB. Okay, now speed at C. The speed at C, it will be CB. So speed at C is CB, and this CB is also equals to OA. Okay, so speed is CB is equals to OA, or we can say the speed at C is equals to OA. So speed at C is OA and the time is actually OC. So we can put this value in the formula of the distance, that is distance is equals to speed at C, that will be equals to OA into time, that is OC. And this OA and OC is what? It is a length and that of the breadth. So this distance is also equals to area of rectangle. Area of rectangle OABC. Okay, so in a speed time graph, the area enclosed by this speed time curve and that of the time axis, it gives us the distance traveled by the body. Okay, distance travel is equals to this rectangular area. So this closed area, this enclosed area of the speed time curve, which included that of the time axis, also helpful in calculating the distance traveled by the body. So we can use any of the thing. We can use either the velocity time graph or we can use the distance time graph. So the velocity time graph of an object moving with a constant speed or the constant velocity is actually a straight line which is parallel to that of the time axis. So this is a uniform acceleration. Now we will come to the next one, and that is the speed time graph when speed changes at a uniform rate. That is also known as a uniform acceleration. So see here, when a body moves with the uniform acceleration, we always say that its speed changes. Okay, because the velocity should change to give a value of the acceleration. So rate of change of velocity decide that of the acceleration. So speed changes how? By equal amount in an equal interval of a time, then we know, we call that kind of acceleration is a uniform acceleration. So again, like that of the distance, we can say this speed is also directly proportional to the becomes directly proportional to that of the time. Okay, and when we talk about a uniform acceleration, so the speed time graph for a uniformly changing speed, because speed is changing at a equal interval in by equal amount in a equal interval of a time. So we can say this speed time graph or this velocity time graph for a uniformly changing speed will be a straight line. Okay, so we can we can write this straight line as OP. OP. This point I am taking as OP. Now we can find out, because the change is there is a change in that of the velocity. So now we are able to find the value of the acceleration from this speed time graph of a moving body. And to calculate the acceleration at time corresponding to that of the point, if suppose we will take a point here, that is equals to q. Okay, so we are finding acceleration at a time, that is q. So what we have to do, we have to draw a perpendicular. So if suppose we are making a perpendicular from here to here, okay, and this perpendicular is known as qp. Okay, and again I am joining this line to that of the velocity, and I am writing this one as r. Okay, so this is the velocity, this is the time, this is the perpendicular which we drawn on that of the time axis. So we know the formula of the acceleration, and that is acceleration is equals to change in the velocity upon time taken. So change in the velocity upon time taken. So if we want to see the change in the speed, so this change in the speed is actually represented by PQ, whereas the time taken is represented by OQ, because this PQ is what the initial velocity and that of the final velocity. Okay, and this OQ is the time interval at which this change occur. Okay, so this is the PQ, which is the change in the speed or change in the velocity, and the time taken for this change is actually represented by OQ. So we can write acceleration is equals to PQ upon OQ. Okay, so this PQ upon OQ is also what? It is a slope of the speed time graph. This is PQ upon OQ. It is a slope or the gradient of the speed time graph. Therefore, we can conclude that that the speed time graph is actually representing the acceleration, and that acceleration is given by the slope of the graph. Okay, so the slope of the speed time graph or the slope of the velocity time graph of a moving body is given by, or it gives the acceleration of the body. Now see here, if suppose now we want to calculate the distance traveled by the moving body in a given time. So this also we can calculate from the speed time graph. Okay, so the distance traveled by the body in a time, again we are taking a point, that corresponding point at Q, that will be equals to the area of the triangle, that is OP and Q. So the distance traveled is equals to the area of triangle, area of triangle, we can represent it like this also. Distance is equals to a triangle, which one? O, P and Q. Okay, so you see here, this OPQ, actually it is the half of this rectangle, that is ORPQ. Okay, this is just the half, this half one, and this half. It totally it is the total. When we join these two triangles, then you will see this is a rectangle. So this OPQ is the half of the rectangle. So we can also write is half of area of rectangle, that is ORPQ. And we know that area of rectangle is equals to the length into breadth. So distance is also equals to half into length. What is length here? This is OR. PQ is the length. PQ is also equals to OR. So OR into OQ. Okay, so it is showing the straight line sloping upward, it shows the uniform acceleration, and by this we are able to calculate the value of the distance traveled. Now we will come to the next one, and that is non-uniform. So when we talk about a speed time graph of a body, a straight line is there, and when the straight line is sloping upward, when this straight line is sloping upward, then we call that speed time graph is a uniform acceleration. On the other hand, if suppose the same time graph is a this same time graph is sloping downward, then we called it as a uniform retardation. Okay, this is the uniform retardation. Okay. So here there is no difference in between these two. The uniform acceleration, which indicates which can be represented by the graph, which is the straight path along the upward direction, and the same in the downward direction, it represents that of the retardation. Now we will come to the speed time graph. When the speed changes at a non-uniform rate, when it is change, when it will not change at a non-uniform rate, it means a non-uniform acceleration. So when the speed of the body changes in an irregular manner, because we had discussed the uniform acceleration, in which there is a rate of change in the velocity per unit time, and this change occur at a equal amount in an equal interval of a time, and that acceleration is a uniform acceleration. But the velocity changes, but that changes occur in an unequal amount in an equal interval of a time, then it will represent the non-uniform acceleration. Okay, so see here, when the speed of the body changes in an irregular manner, then the speed time graph of the body is represented by a curved line. Okay, if suppose this is a A. So this graph is indicating that the acceleration which is going on is actually a non-uniform acceleration. Now we will talk about the speed time graph. Speed time graph when the initial speed of the body is not zero. So you can see in this figure that the speed time graph of a body, that body is having an initial speed, and that initial speed is equals to OC, and then accelerating from C to A. So in order to calculate the value of acceleration from such graph, what we have to do, we have to first subtract the initial speed or initial velocity OC from the final velocity, that is AB. Then we are able to find the value of acceleration, and later on we will divide whatever the resultant came, we will divide them by OP. So here acceleration can be AB minus OC upon OB. Final minus initial upon time taken. This is the by which we can able to find the acceleration. So you can see here this is a uniform acceleration, but initial velocity is not equals to 0. Here the initial velocity, there is some initial velocity, and after the body reaches to the point C, it accelerate or it start giving that of the following that of the uniform acceleration. Now see here, in this case you see the area of OCAB gives the distance traveled. When we talk about the distance traveled of the body in the given time, is in this graph where the initial speed of the body is not 0, it is equals to the area between the speed time graph. What is the area here? This one is the area. Okay, so speed time graph, the area between this. So for example, if suppose we want to calculate or we want to find the distance traveled by the body in time OB, so this will be equals to what? It will be equals to the area of the figure, that is OCAB under the speed time graph, that is CA. Okay, so now the figure OCAB, they are having a two parallel side. One is OC and the another is AB. So if such a figure is there, you see such a figure is actually representing a trapezium. So the distance traveled by the body in this case is equals to the area of the trapezium. You see there, these are two are parallel to each other while other two are not equal to each other. They are four-sided. So this is actually representing a trapezium. Okay, so to find the distance traveled by the body, that distance travel will be equals to the area of trapezium. So at first we will find the area of the trapezium. So here we know that the area of trapezium is equals to what? Area of trapezium. That is equals to the sum of the two parallel side into height upon 2. So what are the two parallel side are here? You can see here. One of the parallel side is OC. So sum of the two parallel side. So here I am writing the area of trapezium. Trapezium is equals to sum of the two parallel side, that is OC plus AB, into height. What is the height here? When you consider this one, then height will be OB. This one is the height, into OB upon 2. Okay, so this is the area of trapezium. Okay, and we know that this area of trapezium will be equals to the distance traveled by the body. Okay, so in this case where the initial body is initial velocity is not zero, the distance traveled equals to the area covered or area enclosed in that of the OCAB, and that area is actually equals to the area of trapezium. So if you are able to find the area of trapezium, that will be equals to that of the distance traveled by the body. Okay, so this is the distance speed time graph. Now see here, we can see the summary of this. You can see here area of velocity time graph, that is also equals to the area of trapezium of OABC, and this OABC is equals to what? Half into sum of the parallel side into height. Sum of the parallel side, that is OA, and OA plus BC, and this OC is actually the height. So this will help if we are able to find the area of this one, that will be equals to the distance traveled by the body. Now see here, this one. This is the summary of the velocity time graph. Constant speed, when the object is is moving, is having a uniform acceleration, then it will shows a straight line which is parallel to the x-axis. When it is having a this is a constant speed. When it is having constant speed or constant velocity, then it is the acceleration, there will be no acceleration at all. Okay, and that's why it is represented by a straight line which is parallel to the time axis. Here the rate of change of velocity is in equal amount in an equal interval of a time, which represent the uniform acceleration, and this velocity time graph is represented by a straight line in a upward direction. Okay, if we talk about the retardation, the same thing like that of a acceleration, but here the slope is in downward direction. In a non-uniform acceleration, here the rate of change of acceleration occur, but that will be in a unequal amount in an equal interval of a time. So this graph will explain the non-uniform acceleration, and thus it will showed in a curved path. Okay, you know it. There is another kind of a graph is also there. When the initial velocity is not zero, then and after some times this will accelerate it will accelerate in an equal interval of a time or show a uniform acceleration. So we represent that with this one. Okay, so these are the velocity time